Although we haven't elected a woman president yet here in the US, we may have already had a woman running the country for over a year due to her husband, President Woodrow Wilson's failing health.
Edith Wilson said she was only a steward of her husband's presidency. Others said she ran the whole country. She was certainly more than just the First Lady. Here's a quick look at the woman many call America's first woman president, Edith Bowling Galt Wilson.
Let's dig into this.
Edith Bowling was born October 15th, 1872 in rural Virginia, one of 11 children. In 1896, she married Norman Galt, owner of Galt and Brother Jewelers, a Washington, D.C. luxury jewelry store that exists to this day. In 1903, Edith gave birth to their only child, a son, who died within a few days. The delivery left her unable to have another child. When Norman died in 1908, he left everything to his wife, including the jewelry store and their Washington, D.C. home. She was a very rich, beautiful young widow.
President Wilson had been lonely and miserable since the death of his wife, Ellen, in August of 1914. One story says he saw Edith Galt when the White House elevator doors opened, revealing a beautiful woman in muddy boots one day in 1915, and he fell instantly head over heels in love. They began a whirlwind relationship, and Wilson proposed just 3 months after they met.
But the Washington rumor mill, yes, it existed way back then, had been running wild with rumors that Wilson and Edith had murdered his first wife or had an affair while she was still alive. To protect both their reputations, Edith insisted they wait until December of 1915 to marry.
The couple were constantly together. She even attended his meetings and acted as a personal secretary for him. As World War I came closer and her husband's health suffered under the strain, she took on a larger role behind the scenes.
When the U.S. entered the war, she encouraged the war effort, publicly participating in rationing days like meatless Mondays and wheatless Wednesdays. She came up with the plan to have sheep graze on the White House lawns so they didn't need to do mowing, and even had their wool auctioned off with proceeds donated to the American Red Cross.
By the time Woodrow Wilson suffered a massive stroke in October of 1919, Edith was so knowledgeable she took over many of the duties her husband could no longer perform. She called herself a steward of the president and was encouraged in this role by Wilson's physician and a few close associates, all wanting to protect the president's health.
She would decide what business was important enough to bother her bedridden husband with, and even who saw him and who didn't. Many claimed no one could get past her to see him. She required the president's cabinet to present all business directly to her in their meetings, and any visitors who happened to show up would be told kindly but firmly that the president was not taking any meetings. But Miss Wilson would pass on any messages.
This caused all kinds of rumors and accusations. Senator Albert Fall from New Mexico yelled on the Senate floor, and anywhere else he thought people would listen, that Mrs. Woodrow Wilson was now the president. But Edith insisted her husband made the decisions, not her. When Wilson's Secretary of State held cabinet meetings without her, Edith had him removed from his position, and she continued to assist her husband in this way until the end of his term in 1921.
Woodrow Wilson died 3 years after leaving office. Edith would continue defending her husband's reputation after his death, claiming that she read every communication sent to the president so she could present the most important information to him, saving time and not overburdening his fragile health. Until the day she died in 1961, 37 years after her husband, she insisted she never made a single decision on her own but acted as a conduit to the president.
Historians have had differing opinions on how much Edith influenced her husband's policies during the final years of his presidency. Many have said she probably did not even realize the effect she had. Her absolute devotion to her husband and single-minded goal to protect his health and his presidency made Edith Wilson much more than just a first lady.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and let us know what you think in the comments.
Hey, here's another DragonDen video you might like.
And if you like this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button.
And you can hit the notification bell if you'd like to know when our videos come out.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.